Oh, yay. Oh, hello. Hello. Popping out the chat. Making that smaller. Moving this over. Hello to anybody who might already be here. Let's see here. What do I want to say? Chat rules. Please be over the age of 17 and please be kind to one another. Period. There we go. Oh, hello, everybody. It says there are 6 people here so far. Hi, Catherine, and welcome, welcome. And hello, Mickey, and hello, Starbuck. And yay, yes, I'm glad you finally caught me live today too. Mickey, I am doing great. I'm more together than I was last week. Hello, Barbara. And Barb, I loved your interpretation of the one that we were working on last week. Barb, unlike me, has finished hers and actually posted it, and she did a marvelous job. This is as far as I have gotten with mine. So as you can see, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. One of these days, I will get after all these works in progress that I've got going on, but it won't be today. Today, I'm going to start a new work in progress in flower inspirations with CaliArt markers, and of course, my trusty swatch book to tell me what the heck I'm supposed to be doing. Well, hello, Daryl Lynn. Hello to everybody who is coming in, and please do say hi if you want to. Chat is for everybody to participate, whether you're talking to me. You're just finishing up another to post. Oh, yay. That's wonderful. Thank you. And I know that there is apparently a mermaid event going on this weekend for, I'm guessing, for the month of May. Something having to do with mermaids. I am always out of the loop on those things. So I usually get to find out about it when all of these videos start posting. Oh, a sip of coffee. Anyway, so I thought that given all the sort of stuff that is going on in all of our nations right now, as far as protests and people being unhappy, and sort of bucking a little bit under the yoke of social distancing, I thought that we would color compassion this is from the second book that I ever drew, was Flower Inspirations. And so we have colored a few things from this book. We did this one with Inktense and Zier glitter paint pens. Excuse me. And this is my my butterfly bees, and which I always laugh at that one. And this was one that I did that I wanted it to look like a wooden box. So this is marquetry. I did that with acrylic paints and colored pencils. I think I used the Black Widows, as a matter of fact. And so those are some of the things that. Here's one that I did with just water-based markers, just the cheapo water-based markers that you get at like Crayola or I think these were Leisure Arts, excuse me. But yeah, so I thought we'd do compassion, and I thought I'd do it in my CaliArt markers because these are little tiny spaces. And so rather than, doodad them all up, if we use solid coloring and then dood them up with, uh, oh, what do I want to call it? You know what I mean? Glitter stuff. Yes, folks, I have done this before. And thank you, Daryl Lynn. I'm glad you like the idea. Okay, I have to find the right size page here. And also, always remember to put in addition to my plastic sheets, I also put a piece of cardstock underneath. And I learned this, actually, I learned it sort of secondhand from Melody, who learned it from Sammy. And apparently what it does is it helps the ink to spread down into the cardstock instead of out on the page. And that made perfect sense to me. So I've adopted it as my way of preparing my coloring pages ever since. So I thought that I would, ooh, thank you. Ooh, I don't know who that was, but bless your soul. Those have gotten few and far between, let me tell you what. So, whoops, let me see if I can fix that light just a little bit, move it a little bit closer. All right, and I will move y'all closer to this as well. But I just wanted to say hi. Hi, Jill. I don't think I said hi. And without further ado, we'll get started and then we'll talk about your week and how mine went and all of this kind of good stuff. I'll tell you all the wonderful things that I didn't do or that I did, whichever the case may be. All right, I'm going to zoom down a little bit and maybe just a tad further just to get started here. Let's switch that autofocus off and hope that it holds. First off, y'all know that I usually go into these things and I never truly pick a color palette. But to me, compassion is a warm color. You could sure use a little more of it in the world because I am watching people lose their freaking minds. And I'm like, guys, it's so unnecessary to lose your mind over all of this. Anyway, all right, so let's look at, I don't know where I was going to go with that. It just did. Yeah, all right. So, keeping in mind that I wanted to color, I was thinking that my compassion would be because that'll give me a chance to then build around it. You know what I mean? Warm, cheerful, compassionate. Yep, got to go with the vermilion, the R107. Sorry. That, for me, that is what compassion is. It is this big, bright, red, striving way to be. So we're going to start right there. Hello, Elizabeth. And all right, so last week, y'all know that I sort of apologies, fell into the whole Andrew Lloyd Webber Phantom of the Opera musicals uh, pit, shall we say? And I was lost for days, and because whoops, I'm moving back down or down a little further down. And because I could hardly stand it, and because I actually did anyway, because it was a really, really good price. It was only $3.99 to buy it, or $4.99 to buy it, $3.99 to rent it. So I bought it for $4.99. I bought a copy of Love Never Dies, and needless to say, it is a streaming version, which means I can watch it anytime. Now let me just make sure I've got you in decent focus here. All right, there we go. And I have watched the heck out of it. Now, I also bought a copy of the 25th anniversary Phantom that was done with Ramin Karimloo and Sierra Bogas, and I love it, absolutely love it. Those are the only two streaming movies that I own. They are the only two that I will ever own, unless because Phantom is the one thing I cannot resist. Everything else, I mean, I have a copy of Les Mis. Heck, I have the movie version that they did with Jared Butler and Emmy Rossum of Phantom. But Broadway, yeah, sorry, I'm a sucker. Absolutely a sucker. Well, then, come to find out, YouTube is an amazing place. If you are a Broadway fan, YouTube is absolutely an amazing, amazing place to be, because these guys, especially right now, are just, itching and dying to perform, to do something. So there is so many posts going up of singers singing these wonderful songs from their musicals, and so I've been doing an awful lot of that as well. There's a guy named Seth Rudetsky who is I'd never heard of him before, but then I don't hang out on Broadway, but he's a Broadway guy, and he's done a ton of these shows. Basically, he's doing they're fundraisers for the actors, for the Actors Fund, which helps to support all of the actors and backstage people, front of house people, all of that, who are out of work currently. And so I just always think it's great when I see somebody, like that, acting in support of, the people in that industry, whatever industry it is. It could be the the delivery industry, or the in this particular case, it just happens to be Broadway actors and the theater actors, people. But but he's having wonderful people on, and he's been doing this show for a while. It used to be done in a studio, and now he's just doing it with his husband at home, from his house or his apartment or whatever it is in New York. And the guests are all coming in via via Skype or StreamYard, which I think is what he's using. And so you get to hear, all of these folks singing live from their own houses, and it is absolutely amazing. You kind of really get that they don't doctor it up for the theater. They do it just like that from home as well. And hello, Kathy Nichols. And hello, everybody that might have popped in while I've been just once again going off and waxing poetic about, how truly inspiring I find uh, the musical theater. And then, oh my goodness, then I discovered I have always loved ballet. Uh, some of it bores me, but especially if I'm not familiar with the story, I find that if I'm going to watch a, I've got to read the story behind it before. Um, so I've been pretty familiar over the years with Swan Lake and all of the different interpretations, excuse me, that have been made of Swan Lake. There was a movie recently called The Black Swan, uh, and it's always about uh, love and trickery uh, and magic and all of this kind of stuff. So, and I also am from the West Coast, so I am by 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 the way that I was raised, we are accepting. We're not just tolerant of all the different lives, we are accepting of all of the different lifestyles. So I had never seen this particular uh, idea, but all of the Prince Siegfried, of course, in the actual story, the one that Tchaikovsky wrote music for, or that was adopted, that Tchaikovsky's music was adopted for, um, is Prince Siegfried has come of age. He's rebelling against the duties of the future monarch of the country, and he's acting out, and as he's nearing his 21st birthday, there's a celebration, and at the celebration, his mother gives him a magic bow or a crossbow. And so he disappears out into the woods with his friends to hunt. And he dashes ahead and comes to a lake where he sees a beautiful swan that captures his attention. So he sends his friends away, and he wants to just sit by the side of the lake and gaze at this beautiful swan. Well, come nightfall, of course, she turns into a human being, and they fall in love. Turns out she's under an evil curse where she has to be a swan by the day and a human in her human form at night. And so the night of his 21st birthday ball, the evil sorcerer, who turns out to be his mentor, has. I'm going to choose an orange here to do the this. You'll see. Hopefully this will dry a little bit lighter. If not, it was the wrong color. I should have gone one lighter. But so Siegfried, knowing apparently that now that the prince is in love with Odette, is her name, the swan, he casts a spell over his own daughter, Odile, and has her come to the ball. The prince thinks she's Odette, and by the time that the ball is over, he has proposed marriage. And it is then revealed that Odile is not Odette, and the prince runs to the lake, to be with his real love, but everybody is against them. The sorcerer insists that since he proposed to Odile, that is who he has to marry. And he says, I would rather die with Odette than marry Odile. And so he and Odette jump into the lake and drown. And the only thing that could break the spell was true love. And so the spell is broken. It turns out that all the swans are actually young women. Everybody is so incensed that they drive Odile and her father, the sorcerer, into the lake, and they drown as well. And the whole story ends with the the prince and Odette ascending into heaven. So that's the story of Swan Lake. So now imagine it done with all with like all of the swans are males, and the love object, beside being, of course, the swan, is also the fact that uh, Prince Siegfried's mother has withheld her love his entire life, and and it made for an absolutely brilliant adaptation. The dancing is absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing, and just. And I cried like a baby at the end because the swans killed them both, and it was in a fit of just, homophobia, basically. And that always makes me cry because I just think that people should be free to love who they want to. Uh, you know, anyway, so it was so good, but it left me an emotional wreck yesterday. Uh, just because I've known people who have hurt themselves. Whoops, am I way off camera? I am, aren't I? Oh wait, no, I'm not. I'm working my way toward it. Uh, who have hurt themselves because they've had to pretend to be other people, and that makes me cry. So anyway, well, hi Melinda, how are you? And hello Melody, and it's so lovely to see one. And hi Diana, and oh my goodness, I should look up more often. Oh, but I love the theater. I miss it. I miss being able to afford to go to the theater. I know that, everything I've watched since has been a legal broadcast, but I am so glad that I got to see uh, that, that version or the. I'm so glad I got to see Hamilton twice. I think they've taken that down now, but because that guy, I mean, that was not good. Okay, so there is compassion, and it looks. I've always thought the backside of these is prettier, but you see what I mean about the fact that excuse me, that it bleeds all the way through to the other side. So that is really, because otherwise you would have this hitting this plastic and it would spread out. And Melody, I had said it was you that had told me about what Sammy had said about this. And so right on, it works. Okay, so now all right, so now we've got compassion in red. Probably our leaves are going to be some other color, but let's do a center flower. And let's pick, How about a nice blue? How about a nice blue, a serious blue, like a blue, B205. 205, not 203, Christine. 205. There's 204. I've got the mic shout at you. Well, it's got to be that one, doesn't it? 205 cerulean blue. There it is. Okay. All right. So now, all right. So I'll stop talking and we'll go to here and we'll say, how is everybody? If you don't mind telling me what we're working out of. Hang on. I am a visual, so I always like to show the cover. This is my second book, which was Flower Inspirations. So adult coloring book of Flower Inspirations, and this was the cover. This was just at the point where Lee at the Coloring Queen talked me out of those variegated covers, or doing the slow fade there. There's a word for that, and I can't remember it right this very second. So that is what we're working on, and I've got the CaliArt markers. So just going to do these little guys in here, blue. Y'all know I like my bright colors, or my rich colors. But you can also mix rich colors with lighter colors and have it be a beautiful combination. So for instance, if I do those blue, then I'm also going to want to pick other things out here to do in this blue color, as I'm also going to want to pick others to do in this red color. So, like the 107, I could continue it on and do, like for instance, I could choose to do these flowers out here. And then this one with the lighter and the insides with the lighter, that kind of thing. So I'm waiting to see how this completely dries. I think it's too dark. I think I should have gone with this one. So let's try it with that one and see. And of course, when you're working in small spaces, the trick to keeping it from bleeding out, in addition to this, is to move fairly quickly along the page, and you're not pressing too hard. Yeah, I think I like that lighter shade a little bit better. Whoops. Pay no attention to this. Reminds me, I had these delivered again on, I don't remember what day it was, Thursday, I think. And one of the things that I had tried to order, just a regular 4-pack or 8-pack, I guess is what it is, excuse me, of toilet paper. Well, guess what? They didn't have those, so they said, well, you have to order this, gigantic one that has 18 rolls. And I'm like, okay, fine, 18 rolls, whatever. So I order that, and they're out of stock. So by the time they delivered, they had because I had put the 8-roll pack in, and it held and held and held, and all of a sudden it came, we're out of stock. And because it takes me about an hour to put together my shopping list and do all of the shopping. So by the time that I started it with the first item, it was already out of stock. Same thing with, hang on, I'm looking for the turquoise green light here, which is the B714. So bottom line is they didn't deliver my toilet paper, and I have no butter. They didn't deliver butter. They're out of stock of butter. It's butter. How can you be out of stock? How can a store the size of Walmart be out of stock of butter? Substitute another brand. I don't care what kind it is. I just want butter. Not margarine. It's got to be butter. Immediately had doggy drama. Oh no, Shara. Yeah, precisely, Shara. Precisely. I would rather not have the TP, but I'd rather have the butter. I need my butter. I have been denied my butter. I am not happy. Ooh, that's pretty. That's a pretty combo. And yeah, so I was like, oh my gosh. It was so good though. I did watch what was the other thing? Oh, I watched the 10th anniversary concert of Les Mis yesterday, and oh, that is such a story. Have you ever read? Has anybody ever read Les Mis? It's The Miseries by Victor Hugo. I mean, it's truly a downer of a story. In well, it's a downer and it's uplifting, but but it is an animal, but as a musical, it is just incredible. Now your breakfast is ready. Oh my goodness, it's 11 o'clock. It's 11:30. That's nearly brunch. Sunday brunch. Shara's going off for her Sunday brunch. The one thing that Walmart did though, which I have to appreciate, I ordered 2 4-packs of their sausage and egg and biscuit breakfast sandwich things because I love those. It's a quick meal. Throw it in the microwave. And I used to buy the Jimmy Dean kind, but the Walmart kind are like pretty much off the same conveyor belt. They just go in different packaging and they're half the price. So I usually buy the Walmart kind. But they were out. They were out of stock. So they substituted 2 8-pack boxes of the Jimmy Deans. So they redeemed. They bought themselves forbearance on not having delivered my butter. Yeah, well, they didn't have salted, unsalted. They didn't have any butter. It just that just drove me crazy. Now the Food Lion is within walking distance. Oh, that's the other thing I did this week. Now, keep in mind that I walk on a fairly regular basis up to the 7-Eleven, but it's probably 2/10 of a mile from my house. So it's just on the corner, basically. But the store is another, is further. It's a mile away, so it means that's 2 miles. So I put on my shoes the other day because I needed to go up to the smoke shop. And because I was out of tobacco. And because anyway, that's neither here nor there, but it brings me to another point. And I had no problem getting there. It was all good. I realized that I had set out. It was a fairly warm day. I'd set out with no water, which was dumb. Because I usually will have a bottle of water with me. Just even if it's only a mile. I am from the desert country, so I know that it is really easy to get dehydrated. The world I need is to ever find myself out there um, dehydrated. So hang on, I'm choosing a color. I want a nice, I think I want the mint green. So I'm going to go with the G115. Um, so anyway, so I got there, no problem. Grabbed which were basically cigarette tubes, and I grabbed my, so I grabbed a water there, and now I want to do every other one in a darker green, so because I'm gonna do two colors on these. And because I can't remember if I was exact on getting all the same exact numbers on each side, that's why I'm starting with the beginning one up here, because that way it doesn't matter if they're exactly the same on both sides, because it's always going to start with that up there. But I barely made it home. And I realized my ankle started to hurt. And I couldn't figure out why. I mean, I don't have weak ankles that I can think of. And it occurred to me it's the way that the road is crowned. When you're, you've got those, it's because we've got these big drainage ditches along that road. And so it's crowned really steeply. And that really, when you're walking on it at a long distance, that can be hard on your ankle. And so that's the excuse I'm giving. I tried to blow up the tires to my bicycle, but apparently Ms. Coriander has used one of those tires as a scratching post. And it has 1,000 little holes all along the inside of the tire, and it won't hold air. So I've got, and it's a tubeless tire, and so I have no idea how to go about changing one of those. But I'm sure that there is a video on YouTube about it. How come my color went all dark? Let's see here. So what is going on with everybody? I mean, what's going on in your lives? Talk to me, people. Tell me what's going on. Oh, I know where I was going with the, yeah, exactly, silly kitty. I wouldn't have believed it until I saw her do it. I had just blown up the tires. The bike was by the front door. I was ready to go out, and I looked over, and there she is. She's stretched up, putting her claws in the tire, and I'm like, "What in the world?" She doesn't want me to go. This is what I wanted to show you guys. Now, I used to smoke a long time ago. I smoked Marlboro cigarettes. Now, I don't advocate smoking. I don't think it's good for everybody. I still do it, but that's my thing. I know everybody has an opinion about it. And as Mrs. Copy says, I'm happy that you have an opinion. I have one too. So, you know. But Marlboro sent me a birthday gift. I'm not quite sure why. I had signed up for their coupons a long time ago, and they still come even though I don't smoke them anymore. Uh, so there was this package. Whoops. You don't need to know. I think I've pretty much done all of that. But look at what was inside. Now these are they're coasters, and they're these cool, wood coasters, and they've got the state of Virginia uh, inlaid, but they've also got my initials. And and kind of where I live in Virginia, which is out here near the coast. Uh, I just thought that was so cool. So, and they are doing this in a plant one or get one, plant one. Every one of these sets that you buy, you get, they plant a tree. So I just thought that was so cool. So anyway, yeah, they sent me a birthday gift for my coffee cups, of course. Sorry, oh, hi, Donna. I was just, you could have knocked me over with a feather. I'm like, oh, really? Okay, that's fine. I did also finally write back to my friend this week, the one that I only hear from once a year. Took me a while because he had bad news, so took me a while to process it and all of that kind of good stuff. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to use this sort of brighter green for this part. I just like to give it a little visual interest by using two different greens. They're little tiny spaces. And so far, the only real colors that I've used that aren't, I don't consider the greens I mean, it's a real, but it's not one of the primary color palette colors that, well, yeah, me too, Donna, me too. But here's the bottom line. None of us is going to get out of life alive. Something is going to take us all down, whether it's coronavirus or cancer or simply old age. We're all going to go, and it isn't what kills us; it's our attitude about it that is the thing that that makes the difference. It's how well we were loved, how well we loved other people, um, you know. And I can tell you that if people who love him are any gauge, then he's done very well in his life because there are a lot of folks who love Bob, and I happen to be one of them. So so lucky me that I got a chance to know him. And that is really what it is about. It is not about anything else. So you can die with millions, but if you don't have love, then you are a poor man. So we took that down a decidedly sad road, didn't we? We're going to come back from there. I just want to see how this was going to look. I like it. All right, so I am going to continue on with this. We're going to pretend. Thank you, Donna. I was certainly not hunting for that, but I have been so lucky. You know that I am still friends with every boyfriend that I have ever had. Uh, and I actually talk to each other. Uh, I've actually even begun a dialogue. Uh, you know, uh, 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 Granted, it's every couple of years with my most recent ex husband person. So I must have left some lasting impression on some people. I don't know. I am just glad for the fact that people even remember who I am. That's the way I feel. Every time my nephews actually get in touch, I'm like, oh, they remember that I'm alive. Oh, Jill, my friend, my friend that I only hear from once a year, or in this case, twice, because he wrote at Christmas to say how well he was doing, and then by April it was not so good. The story was not so good. Excuse me, but he's got kids who love him, and like many of us, several ex-wives, or in my case, ex-husbands. I mean, I always just try to remember, there was something about the person that you loved. So, hang on to that memory after all of the other stuff is sort of passed away. All the stories you're telling yourself about how come your relationship fell apart, or, if only I had done this or that, or if only he had done this or that. It's like, the bottom line is that you did what you did, and and live with it. It didn't work out. It's okay. Yeah, exactly. It does make you feel good, Shara. You're absolutely right. And it just to be remembered. Uh, and maybe have a laugh or two, but JD and I were together for a long time, and so it's nice to hear about. I mean, his mother is still alive. She's 98 years old and doing really well. And, and I sometimes she didn't like me very much, and I knew that, but that's okay because she was a good mom to her kids, and she was a good wife to her husband, even though he could be a pain, a royal pain. Uh, but I don't ever remember her, being pushy in any way, or she might not have liked me personally, but she didn't show it to my face. I mean, I sort of knew she didn't like me because if she talked about me to other people the way she talked about her other daughter-in-law to me, then because she was sweet as pie to her as well. So, you know, but I mean, these are just things that you accept about people. People are the way they are, and you either accept them and love them for who they are with all their little warts, and all their little, tensions and stuff like that. Or you don't. And if you are not able to do it, then, then you probably shouldn't be hanging out with them. Oh, for how many, this, I'm getting to be like Dee Dee. I've got uh, uh, so many um, notifications coming through every day. It's like takes me half an hour to get through them. Resining, resining. Wait, okay. Hang on, I've got to go back. Sounds like a rich man, not in the. Yes, exactly, Donna. Not in the dollar sense of the word, but in the people have always people. Bob has always been one of those guys. He's the first one to sort of jump in to help. Uh, from butterfly or flying insect wings. Ooh. Okay. Hopefully, hopefully not real ones. Leave those butterflies alone, Donna. This was this was before Facebook. Yeah, actually, they are doing really, really well. I use them a lot, Donna. And oh, resonating. Okay, so you're resonating the wings. All right, so you're not actually you're by. Are you going out and trapping butterflies? Are you, Donna? I'm going to come throw a net over you. Um. Anyway. Yeah, I know what you mean. Only I don't want this to be. I don't want these to be these. Now that they're dry, I want these to be the dark green. So I'm going to go back and do them again. Uh, oh, forms you buy from. Okay. Now, all right. So that's cool. All right. So now I'm going to go back and do these. Sorry. I want these to be a darker green. I'll be quick. Now I don't remember what I was talking about, so it doesn't really matter. Let's see. I wrote down ideas of things to talk about. Uh, and of course, I don't know where the list is, right? Let's see. Was this it? Nope. Uh, nope. I don't know where the list is. See, that's what happens to me. I write things down, and and then I can't find the list. See you now in your pits, Alan. Big red glasses sneaking through the woods, sneaking through the weeds, looking for the butterflies. Exactly. Now, thank you for the mental image, Donna. uh, anyway, this is always such fun. You guys have to really, you really need to understand that I love doing these Sundays streams because they're just for me. Uh, I get to actually talk, which is something, I could sit here and talk to myself, but people would think I was crazy. Uh, I do talk to the TV sometimes, and I do let Ben Lewis sing to me every morning. He sings Till I Hear You Sing Again every morning to me. Thank goodness for the Amazon streaming. Uh, Boy, that is dangerous. Let me tell you what, because I have a credit card, or not a credit card, but my debit card is or my online debit card, because don't we all have a separate account that we use for our online purchases? If you don't, you need to. But it is one of those. It is one of those things where if you push it, it's automatic. It downloads. There's no, are you sure you want to buy this? Or there's no second choice. It's done. If you push the buy button in Video Prime, it's yours. You just bought it. So and that shocked me because I really wanted to see. That's how I ended up with the book. Oh, see now, I wait. No, I didn't screw it up. Okay, I thought, but I didn't. So anyway, that's just a word of caution. You decide, and you do not have to have Prime to use Prime or to use Prime Video. You do if you want to rent, but if you want to buy, uh, actually, I think you can. I think you can rent it. I think you can rent it without Prime. If you have Prime Video, you get you get it for free. But if you don't have Prime Video, you have to pay the rental fee, which is $4, which is a lot, or $3.99, which is a lot for a rental. At least didn't it used to be that you could rent them for like $1? You can turn off the buy. Yeah, you can turn off one click. I know, but I didn't. I have now. Trust me, because I really didn't intend to buy it. But after I bought it, I just wanted to see it. How much it was. Whether or not I really just wanted to see. I wanted to see what would happen because I kept hearing that you could use Video Prime or Prime Video without having Prime because I can't afford to pay for Prime. So but I thought, well, if I could use it without, then I might be able to see my way clear to watching, one or two shows that I'm really interested in, like The Handmaid's Tale. Although I've read the book, so I know how it goes. Or Game of Thrones, although I've read those books too. Or Outlander, and yes, I've read all of those as well. So the only series that I would ever be tempted to actually buy is Poldark. I have watched every time PBS puts it on and then rebroadcast the seasons. I watch it over and over again because my PBS station broadcasts in blocks on the weekends. So it's Call the Midwife, whatever the primary show is. Sometimes it's Poldark, sometimes it's right now it's something called World on Fire. That's it, World on Fire. But I mean, how many Holocaust movies can you, or shows can you watch from all the different points of view? This one is, basically told from a young Englishman who has married a Polish girl, and now he's gone to Poland to try and find her, and she's fighting in the resistance, and so. And I'm, in the meantime, England is starting to get bombed every night. Or, well, no, it's not actually not starting to get bombed every night. This is just the start of the war. So Poland has just given up, has just basically surrendered. Anyway, but I find it depressing, so I don't watch it. Are you, wait, well, now, Donna, which one are you talking about? Game of Thrones or, because Poldark is ongoing. I mean, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's ongoing. Don't worry. They'll get there. They will get there. It's not over. It's not over until it's over. They're still putting them in the, yeah, it's just a brilliant series, isn't it? Oh, it is. Are just, well, it's like the Hornblower Tales as well. I love the Hornblower Tales. So, Horatio Hornblower. Okay, so now we need to go back to our, oh no, now I'm sorry, I want to roll of pretty purples. And we don't have any pretty purples here. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go to another set. Okay, so because this does not have any, the CaliArts do not have any good purples. Period, end of explanation. There's no good purples in there. So we're going to go to another set of something. Because the Arteza Real Brush Pens have some beautiful purples. So we're gonna do these in purple. Purple and so I want a, I know they look like leaves, but they're not leaves. They're actually blossoms. So let's pick a blue. Let's go with the, let's see, what is the, this we can do. Oops, where are, all right, so if I do a, I think the cerulean blue has got it. I do. I think that the cerulean blue is it, the 205. So we'll keep doing that. All right, we're going to pull the blue here into this dark one. And maybe into this one, only because it's sort of behind the others. So it gives that sort of shaded appearance. There were, I believe, 12 books and 8 of them. Yeah, but it's not over yet. I ended it halfway through the series. Oh, I did not know that. I didn't know that it had, well, now wait a minute. Because it's been on for what? Six seasons so far? Okay, so now let's go to, we're going to step up into a different blue. Maybe the B204, which is the next one up. This is technically, it says it's baby blue, but and not everywhere, just this one. I'm just trying this. Let's see how this goes. Okay. And, well, yeah, maybe let's do this too. The more I look at it, the more I realize that the symmetry has to stay the same. Whoops. The larger set, yes, it does. It does, Melinda. That they did fix that in the larger set, and but in the meantime, see, and this is I like to tell people this all the time. Don't write a larger set of something or something like that. If you've got another medium that has the color that you need in it, then don't be afraid to mix up your mediums. Mix them up, because that is what they are for. All right, so that's why they make so many different coloring mediums. You don't have to use just the same one throughout one piece. And if I wanted to, I could even find if there were a particular, like for instance, if there were an Inktense that has the right shades, which in fact there is the colors. I love the Arteza brush pens, but they don't work really well on this paper. But I happen to have right here in my fat sweaty palm some nice purples. Ooh. Okay. Right there. So I can choose the mauve for here. So we're going to mix Inktense and markers. Why not? It's ink. They're both ink. I think that'll be a perfect fit. So we'll do this. I did tell you that Morticia did a experiment to see if you filled a water brush with isopropyl alcohol, 90% isopropyl alcohol, if Inktense would work, and they do. It acts just exactly the way that it does with water. It is with it just makes alcohol ink instead of water ink. Yeah, perfect. Just the perfect shade for right there using the Inktense. If you don't have Inktense, then if you've got a water marker, use a water marker, a water-based marker. If you've got Crayola crayons and it's got the right, exactly the right shade for you, then use that. Or, whatever your Prismacolor pencils, any brand of pencils. Because nobody is going to notice if one little, thing is in a different medium when you're throwing all sorts of different mediums together. So yeah, you definitely don't want to be rushing out and buying, new sets and all of this because that's just a waste of money. And because what's going to happen is that your CaliArts are eventually going to dry out, or you're going to use them up, and then you can go out and buy bigger sets. But until that happens, that's why we've got multiple sets of different things. So this is now the thistle. Now, I don't know that there's much difference between the thistle and the mauve. I don't think that there is. Isn't that interesting? Wait, did I miss one? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, I'm okay. Hello, Christine. Are you in there? Then why does this? It doesn't. Why does this have 3? What did I miss? I apparently apparently somewhere along the line when I drew it, I messed it up. Oh well. It's a fine time to notice, Christine. When did this book come out? Why does that one have 3? What did I do? Oh, I see what I did. I see what I did. Okay. Wait. Perfectionist Christine has to be indulged here. Wait 1 second here. Okay, so this is supposed to be the dark blue. And this is supposed to be the light. Is this the right one? Oh, please be the right one. Okay. Is that right? Yes. Okay. It's this one that is messed up too. Oh well. This one has an extra one, see? That's okay. That's they call that a Persian flaw. We'll just go with that. Bic has a pretty, yes, they do have a pretty purple. They and that's hi Crystal, and hello to anybody else that is here that I have not said hello to. Okay, so now wait. Oh my goodness. Okay. Is there anything? I'll just stop talking now. Oh look, that is a pretty shade. That is a very, very pretty shade of purple. I love that color. That's the thistle. That is probably one of my favorites in the set of Inktense. And so, mixing the CaliArt markers with the Inktense is perfect. Or with anything. CaliArt markers can be mixed with anything. Remember that one that we did a few weeks back where we did markers for a base and then the Arteza real brush pens for, to do all the shadowing and shading. All right, so now I've got the deep rose. So deep rose is going to be up front. On the big one. Oh, hush, stomach. I will feed you when we are done. So the word of that is a cool thing. And what gave me the idea to do compassion today was Sierra Bogus, who of course played Christine, in the 25th anniversary filmed edition of Phantom of the Opera from Royal Albert Hall in whenever it was, 2012 or 13, whenever it was 25 years old, which was a while, because now it's 34 years old, or 33 years old, I think. Has a bag of stones and little tabs, and she picks a word every day for her Instagram folks or her YouTube folks, the people who follow her, and you know, there are always words of inspiration or trust or courage or kindness, or you know, it's wonderful. So that is why I chose compassion today, because I think that we need to have that for those of us who are I saw a great post, and I think that Jill, I think it was you that posted it, the one that was talking about, you know, we're all in the same storm, but we're not all in the same boat. And I thought that that was so so perfect for you know, the fact that, you know, there are people that are truly suffering, you know, that can't, you know, can't and can't get help anywhere, and that, you know, we may not understand why people are out there protesting, or you know, it's because we're not in their shoes. We don't know what they're going through. You know, they're not, a lot of them, we know, a lot of them are doing it just to be contrary. But you know, a lot of other people are really just desperate. You know, they're just desperate. So we need to have compassion for them too. All right, so now I did that, but I think I'm gonna have to go. I think I'm gonna have to go with the light blue again, just because. Maybe not. Maybe we'll go with a pink. Maybe we'll go with a pink, and the CaliArts do have. No, I don't think so. You know what? We'll go with the dark. We'll just go with the dark. Yeah. We'll go with the dark blue. Oh, on the other hand, ooh, wait for it. What if we did this one? Because we could always go dark blue later. No. I wanted this. What is that? Where is that? What is this, isn't it? Isn't this the turquoise blue? Pardon me while I have a brain fart. Oh, sorry. Brain fade. Uh, these are the CaliArt markers. What I'm after is the, yeah, I wanted the turquoise green 740. Yep, I got it right. I got it right. That is not the, well, you know what? It's not bad. As it dries in there, it's not bad. I was thinking it was the mint green, but it's not. It's now this is our Persian flaw right here. Okay. All right. I like that. I like the way that that looks. Yeah. Maybe you do post a fair amount of quotes. I know you do. Uh, um, yeah, I like that. Okay. All right. So now this, what do we want to do with that? We want to make those. I think we want to go ahead and make those this lighter yellow shade. So let's do this. Let's go CaliArt. I'm going to go yellow. So this panel, which is, see, I've got the 314, which is the yellow. I want the 204. That isn't it. So it's got to be in here. There it is. Okay, so this is the 204 pastel yellow. So we'll do this. Trying to leave that little space. See how it keeps closing up, even though I'm leaving this big space? It really shows you how much these bleed. But you can I can always replace those, or you know, the. Oh, look, I can hear you saying, Christine, you forgot those leaves. That's the mint green right there. Say, look, you missed those greens. Anne is coloring something at a colorful life, and I see she's missed something. How many of us do that? And then she does eventually go back and catch it. But it's like, you know, I'm like sitting on tenterhooks because I'm trying to talk to her and say, look, it's right there by your hand. You missed it. Okay. I need to know what's, I think the yellow is also going to be a good choice for in there. Is that the 314? Is that what I decided? No, it's the 204. So it's this one. Okay. You know, I have to have my gemstones. My gemstones, I get a little twitchy. There we go. So now we have gemstones. See, Melinda knows. I thought so. I thought of all the people, it was probably you who was like that. I am absolutely like that. I'm like, are you gonna get it? It's right there by your hand, honest. And then she'll finally notice it, and I'll go, ah, finally. Okay, so there's these little bits and bobs up here. I love bits and bobs. I actually did a little drawing this week as well, so there are some bits and bobs that are coming up in the shop and all of that. It'll probably be all at once. I do apologize that I did not do a midweek video. I did do the 5 coloring books, and thank you, Shira, by the way, for that tag. Uh, I don't know if Sandy knows that I tagged her or not. I'll write her after after we're done today and see. But I tagged Sandy at Color Creatively, and hopefully she'll do hers as well. And I gotta say, that was a tough choice. If I only get 5 books to take with me, assuming that I'm taking all of my own, I had to only pick 5 from other people, and that's hard because I love so much. I mean, I didn't get a chance to put a Tatiana Bogima or, uh, or one of the Minuet books, or either Minuet or Rhapsody. I didn't get to put a Layla Dooley in there, and I would have done that. So if we ever do it again, if I ever go into quarantine, sorry, I'm taking 10 books. Taking 10 books. And my own. And all 13 of my own. 12 of my own, because I don't need the travel size. All right, so there's that one. Now I need the lighter blue, which is the 204. Hopefully you guys will forgive me that I'm actually going to work on this one in entire blocks. That way I stand a much better chance of actually finishing a project. Is if I don't have to then go back and remember what colors I was using. Because what I have to do at that point in time is I have to go back to this video and I have to watch it in its entirety to see what colors I grabbed. Although, I guess I could. There's probably a shorter way to do that, but compare them to my swatch book, maybe. I do that too, but sometimes I'm not sure. Especially if I've been mixing colors. On the other hand, I don't want people to get bored and leave because I'm doing the same thing sort of over and over. Whoops. So instead, I guess I just have to try and be a sparkly, witty personality that people want to hang out with. I'll tell you, who's got that down is Emily at Emily Illustrator. Illustrator. She's a hoot. Okay. Now I don't remember what colors. Yes, I do. Which one did I use first? I used the mauve first. All right, so that's this one. So the mauve was first. Now I'm trying to sort of not dilly-dally. That was, trying to remember whose phrase that was. Did anybody in your lives use that phrase? A grandmother or somebody like that? This is Thistle. Don't dilly-dally. A mom. I can't remember hearing my mother say it, but I think I can remember my stepmother saying it. Don't dilly-dally. My stepmother used to say dilly-dally. She would say, don't dilly-dally. She'd say, don't gild the rose. Yeah, Daryl Lynn, exactly. Oh, Emily, when she drinks wine. Well, I admit I've only seen her show once, maybe twice, and she's just entertaining as all get out, uh, and and very, very, very funny. It was the sort of running joke about the tea with Lozzie. Lozzie, is that right? Yes. And because I was taught to properly brew tea in a teapot with boiling water, and you heat the teapot first, you heat the cup, you do all of that, steep it for exactly the right amount of time. Be sure to take the tea ball out, or if you are making tea with the tea in the bottom of the pot, then my stepmother used to also read tea leaves. Uh, so that was always fun. I'm sure she made up 90% of what she said, but it was always so fun that she put in the effort. Okay, so now I'm going to do this, and then I'll activate the others. But that way, it helps to sort of concentrate to get through this. Move the swatch book over. Uh, where was I? There we go. I don't want Melinda going crazy out there with me missing stuff because I'm in a hurry. Or anybody else. So is there anybody who's starting to rail or under the restrictions, or are you wearing the chains lightly, or are you just kind of going nuts? My Nana said lollygags. Dilly dallying, lollygagging. Yeah, lollygagging. I love that. Huh, okay. Uh, I mean, like for me, really nothing has changed. Other than when I go out, when I walk up to the store, I do have a mask in my hand, which it just kills me every time I do it. But as I put it on before I open the door, I always feel like a robber. Let me put my mask on so I can walk into this store. I mean, can you imagine there was a time when that would have just been unacceptable, and now there's big signs that say no mask and no service. No mask, no come in. This water brush gets a little bent looking because it doesn't put out a very big flow of water at all. So when I wipe it off, it dries it out pretty much. Oops, I went all quiet on you, didn't I? Just another day in paradise. Oh, speaking of which, I love that show too. Death in Paradise. The Brits do such good TV. I am telling you what. Excuse me, they really do. Did I really just do that? I'm so sorry. I have yet to see. There was one. Coupling. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That show just used to break me up. I remember being so shocked that they had coupling on here in the Virginia market. It was actually purchased by a season of it was actually purchased by our PBS stations. I'm sure that they didn't you know, realize that how close to the edge it actually comes. But uh, but I just loved it. It was just such a hoot. Those actors were so funny. Uh, there is nobody that does comedy like British. No, nobody. You just, I don't normally like slapstick type comedy, but in the eye, in light of Faulty Towers, how can you not? And that was forever ago. Or the Black Adder. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's where we are right now. I think it is looking beautiful. How about any of you? Compassion is well on its way. Okay, so what is next? We need to pick a pretty color for those flowers. Any ideas? Golden yellow, maybe? I get the final say, so they're going to be golden yellow. Let's see here. I've got the 204, which is the yellow. So we will make them yellow. We may add some stuff here. So you see what I'm doing here. I'm really just working the colors in outer, in rings around, keeping it fairly limited. Maybe yellow and a orange flower. How about we do one? Well, or we could do. Let's see what would happen if we brought the orange in just. Oops, that's not it. Let's try this one. This one is a much deeper orange. So if I brought the orange in just around the edges of this, okay, and then this one could be predominantly yellow on the edges, because you always know part of it is that I just get bored. I don't like to do the same things over and over. Which is what I get that about why because that's the thing about mandalas that people don't like. So what I want to do is I want to show you that you don't have to do the same thing over and over and over. You can, in fact, change it up. So maybe that one could be so there's two different kinds of flowers, and it also helps keep your two different types of flowers, and it also helps keep your mind a little occupied. To have to think to do like the two, I like that one much better than I like this one. And hello, Mary, how are you? And I want to make sure, Mary, did you finally get to download your order? I'm assuming that you are the Mary 2 that wrote to me about an order that you can download, or that, yeah, never showed up or something. Anyway, yes, I have seen Mr. Bean. I have seen Mr. Bean, and it is funny too. I like him much better in well, I see it's I like Black Adder because it's history. You know, so anything that sort of takes a different bend on history, or that portrays history in a funny fashion, uh, uh, is I like, because the Richards didn't do that well in in history. So all right, this is 606. My by the way, my eyesight is completely blown. I'm gonna need I'm gonna need something, but it is completely blown for days. So, but you can't go to the eye doctor because they get right up in your face, and you can't have that right now. So I just try and get enough rest, which seems to be helping quite a bit. Okay, so if I do the greens, I'll do these green. So this is the 606, which I believe is the bud green. I could be wrong. Yeah, the 606 is the bud green. So I just did all of the leaves in that green. And then if I want to, I can take this darker green, this 115, which is the mint green, and sort of do a little doodah down here. Or maybe I'll just, it's still wet, so I don't want to do it too much. Just go a little two-tone on it. I like the two tones. Once again, the eye doesn't seek perfection. Okay. So then, let's see what color for. Well, actually, it's got to be a daisy, doesn't it? Yeah, it's probably a daisy. So let's grab the R107, which is the compassion color again. We'll go here to the outside. Maybe make this one. And once again, I get, I'm just playing. If I decide that I want it to be lighter or darker, 204, is that the right one? Yeah, lighter or darker. I can always do that. So if I something like a stripe, and I decide later that I just want it to all be orange, I can go back and do that. But in the meantime, I've done that, which gives me, then I can do the little bird houses, I could do those blue with red roofs. So once again, using this color, I can go back to, because it's in a, that is technically up here in this ring, but we'll add a little red roof. And maybe make it a light blue with dark blue stripes. And I just used the big end. We'll just do the whole thing. I don't think I actually drew in any little birds in this one. Should have done that. And then I can take the dark blue and do some stripes. Or not, as the case may be. Maybe make that a dark like that. So it looks like that's a shadow, hanging over the thing. And as that dries, I could always change the dot to black so that it looks more like a hole and it's different than the blue. Oh dear, you are reminding me of that. I did make a book purchase. Yes, it was digital. Yes. And if that wasn't right, Mary, let me know. I did send it to you via email to the second address. I sent it to you via email, but yeah, it's digital. So if that isn't what you wanted, let me know. Hi, Deb. Hello, Deb. I'm so sorry that I missed saying hi. I never know what day it is during weekends. Me either. Me either. Well, I kind of know when Sunday's coming up, but just sneak up on me once again with no midweek videos other than my 5, and I don't know how that happens because I fully intend to do a video and yet I just never, I don't seem to sit down to do it. So anyway, all right. So now this, hang on, I'm going nuts here. I'm going crazy again. Hello. Okay, that's the blue. I don't want that. I want the greens. Wait, that is, wait, G115. Oh, I'm so confused now. Okay, is G115 the mint green? Yes. Yes, Christine, it is the mint green. So this is what we want. We want the mint green here and here. And here, just sort of, floofing it out. Maybe not new, but I'm floofing it out. Then 503, is that right? 503. No, I don't want 503. That's pale green. Get that out of my space. Okay, this is the bud green. Is that right? 606? Yes. So we'll do that. Somehow I just can't help myself, no matter how small the space. I have to do the shading and the shadowing. So. All right, and so we'll just continue on with that, realizing, of course, that my time is running short. I only have about 6 minutes left, but 6 minutes is still a good time to see how this looks a little more overall. Let's see here. By doing 2 or 3 of them. And of course, they don't all have to be blue. You could choose to make your birdhouses all sorts of different shades. So maybe, maybe this one has a blue roof. And a red stripe. And a red porch for the little bird to sit on. And maybe it is just red, white, and blue because it's a little patriotic, but it has to have a red pole. Yeah, why not? Why not? So this one is, oh, wait, let's go with a blue. Yeah, we'll have a blue collar right there. There we go. Now it's perfect. And once again, a little black hole where the little birdies can go in, make their little baby birdies in safety. And then let's see, we've got orange, so we're going to do the outside of this one. And do you still have eye drops? I do, Shara. I do. It is not a matter of my eyes being tired. It is, well, it is, or not moist. In fact, what happens is that if I focus on one thing too long, like we kind of, and if I look at, for any reason, if I look at my phone, my Instagram phone, if I go on Instagram for any length of time, my eyesight is shot for the day. Something about the blue light in that screen that just, and the tiny, tiny print, that just, it just blows my eyesight for the day. I can't focus. My eyes won't refocus. I can see this, but that's all I can see. So it's like my focus gets stuck, and that's just that is just a function of age. And then what happens is I have to sleep. I'm looking for a dark green to put in the centers of these. And so I was looking at Instagram earlier today, and I blew out my eyesight, so I blew out my focus. So it just is what it is. That's one of the reasons why I have to be very careful about making sure that I shift my focus quite often, especially if I'm working. Okay, so I like that. I like that a lot. Caffeine dries your eyes out. Well, that is entirely within. Hi, Nika. That is entirely within the realm of the possible because I drink, I drink copious quantities of coffee. Uh, Sometimes more than others. It depends on, if I'm out of milk or sugar, I will drink a minimum amount of coffee. Uh, but if I have, or if it's cold, or if it's hot, if it's hot outside, I'll drink a minimum amount of coffee. But if it's just, Joe average day, then yeah, I drink way too much coffee. Let's see here. There's that one. There's that one. Okay. And then we'll do this. 204, yes. Someday I am going to pay attention to where that black line is. It's not like they don't put a black line to tell you which cap to take off. Okay. So now in the mint green 115. Going crazy. All right. It is, I do believe that Joe Beth. Lynn, Links, Kit and Caboodles. Kit and Caboodles has just gone live. I don't know who that is. Kitty, I think. Kitty, Kathy, somebody. Uh-oh. I just did that one differently. That's okay. And I'm just going to finish these leaves, and then I will get off, I promise. Okay. So, I hope that you will all... well, actually, you know what? That actually makes a lot of sense, Melinda. Yeah, an iPhone 5. It's the first iPhone 5 that, so it is only, it's only what, 2.5 by, hang on. It is, oh, for pity's sake. Not quite 2.5 by, not quite 4.5. So it's tiny. And because it's tiny, of course, the print is tiny. And even if I make it bigger, it doesn't help. It's the light that emanates blue light. I have to turn off the blue light on my computer monitors. And I have, my glasses are actually coated with the anti-blue light stuff, but I can't wear them because I can't see out of them anymore because the prescription is really old. So when I hit the age of Medicare and can then get new glasses, I will. But until then, I'm sort of stuck. So, you know, at least for a while. But anyway, it'll all come right in the end. Because if I just have a little nap, it restores my focus again. But you don't always want to nap in the middle of the day. And so at least 2 hours for it to go, to get better. So, and so sometimes you just can't do that. even if you wanted to. Even if I just lay, still doesn't do very much. Plus, I get bored. I don't like to. I like to be drawing or watching something or coloring or something along those lines. And lately, it's been watching something, and I need to get back to instead of doing all that watching, and I'll start coloring. So, guys, it is 4:05 p.m. I am technically over my time. I know that Joe Beth Sexton is usually on at this time. Is. I know she was doing the mermaid thing. She was on late last night. I don't know what the whole schedule on that is. Like I say, I never know about these things until after until they start. So hopefully you've enjoyed being here today. I will be back. Because I've already started one to be doing a midweek video. And thank you all for your concern. My eyes are okay, I promise. And thank you, everybody, for choosing to be here today. As you know, I appreciate each and every one of you. I want you all to have an absolutely fabulous week. Compassion where you can, and acceptance where you can. And remember that we're all. I love that. I still love that saying. So I'm going to steal it. We're all in the same storm, but we're not all in the same boat. So always remember that. Until we meet again, please color something pretty. Bye, everybody. Thank you for being here.